Hey, it's a brand new episode of For the
For the
Sake
sake of
of Happiness.
heaviness,
Heavy heaviness. Heavy
heaviness,
heaviness.
greetings, heaviness.
So tonight we're going rocking with Dokken. Yes, mine's right there. Right there. We decided we are going to rank the songs on the essential, my personal favorite Dokken album, Tooth and Nail. Is this your favorite too, Butch? Or I'm
It
sure it's
is, man.
way up there.
Dude, it's I'd heard "Breaking the Chains" when I was a kid, and I like that song.
Sure.
But this was the one that I didn't get that album. I like that song, especially on Masters of Metal. And
Yes.
I'm gonna work that one into as many episodes as we
Every
can.
chance. Yep,
Yeah,
every
every chance
chance.
I get. It's like there are certain stories I'm always gonna work in, but I had seen the it was the video for Into the Fire. I saw that on MTV and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, that's really good." Like I really like that song a ton and I went out I'd asked my mom, I put it on my Christmas list. Um always give her a list of cassettes at
Yeah.
Christmas time. And this is in the
I think
days
we all did.
obviously. It was early on where my collection wasn't huge yet. So at Christmas time, I remember I got Motorhead's No Remorse and Black Flag Slip It In. That's a funny one for your mom to buy for you.
All right.
And Dockett's Tooth and Nail. I remember the first thing that was curious to me about it was, like I actually like as cheesy as this cover kind of is, like I like that cover. And
Yeah.
then the cover of the cassette, I don't know if you remember, is just the two claws
Yeah.
coming up.
Which was kind
Which
of cool too, actually.
yeah, I was kind of bummed out by it though when I initially got it. But anyway, like I honest to God, I had one of those yellow Sony Walkmans, those sports
Yeah, I
Walkmans. I
had
think
one
that
too. Yeah.
yeah, that's another. I think we talk about it all the time. It's one of those references. Like everyone, just because everyone our age, like that was one of the
Yep.
best ones to get because it didn't. Some of the other ones bounced around a little bit, and
Oh,
this
that was
was
the
like
sport one, man.
yeah, you seal it up. It was a little bit waterproof, and
Yep. Sure.
um, I put that cassette there, and I swear to God, I would just like riding around with my parents or going to school. Like I would just flip the tape and flip the tape. Like it
Yeah.
didn't come. I listened to Dawkins Tooth and Nail more than any other hard rock record in the 80s, probably more than any other record in the 80s, to be honest with you, including
Wow.
Metallica, including Kiss.
No kidding,
This
really.
specific record, I mean, I just fell in love with. So it's one of my all-time favorite hard rock records, hands down. Like it's definitely a top 10 hard rock album for me. Maybe top five, probably.
They're they're fantastic. I always thought we've probably mentioned this. I always thought Dokken unfairly got lumped in with like the whole glam thing. And they did play that up a little bit as they went on, but I always thought they were just more definitely hard rock metal than like a lot of the glam stuff at the time. But yeah, I think that might have been my intro too, was Breaking the Chains on that Masters of Metal compilation. And then I ended up hearing Paris is Burning someplace. I was like, all right, this is cool. But my intro to this album was I fucking lived for Metal Shop. It was on Sunday nights on QFM in Milwaukee.
Metal
Yeah.
shop.
And I think like right out of the gate, I remember Charlie Kendall with our number one most valuable metal of the week, Into the Fire from Dokken. Yeah, and then it just kicks in that. I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I'm pretty sure me and my buddies got on our bikes and pedaled like we were trying to save ET right down to the mall and picked up Tooth and Nail. Yeah, we definitely we played the absolute crap out of it. I don't know if we did to the extent that you did, but yeah, it was a constant in the background for a long time. So such a good album. And it's funny because I listened to it on the way to work this morning. I've got about a 30-minute ride, so this is a I don't want to say fairly short album, but it's right around the 35 40 minute mark, I think.
Yeah, it's the requisite 80s length.
Yeah. Yeah. But I listened to the whole thing for the most part on the way to work, and I got to tell you, it's been a little while since I've had this on, and man, there really ain't a weak spot on this album.
Mm-mm.
It jams all the way through, and as we go through our ranking, it's just nitpicking is all it really is. But yeah, I really kind of forgot how good it is, every single one. And to think too that like this almost didn't happen. This was like their last ditch effort at that time, because Breaking the Chains didn't exactly light the world on fire. And I know that, they had gone out and pretty extensively with like Blue Oyster Cult. And then I can't remember who else they hooked up with, but I know that the label was like, you guys are out. And somehow Dokken like, talked them into like one more chance and the fucking lightning in a bottle with this one. So thankfully they hung in there.
Yeah, and it was one of those it's one of those cases too, man. They had a couple they had the single for Just Got Lucky, and then it did Into the Fire was that first video I remember seeing, and Just Got
Yeah.
Lucky. And neither of them really did great. I mean, it kept their name out there, but it was, that lucking into Put Out Alone Again,
Yep.
um, kind of saved the record,
Yeah. Yeah.
in the way that Beth saved Destroyer. Like if it weren't for that
Almost.
ballad
Pretty good
on there, like
comparison.
who knows? I mean, we might only be talking about a two album band.
Yeah. No, that's
Um,
absolutely true. Absolutely true.
yeah.
All right, let's kick it off. I'll let you start. We'll just go back and forth and we'll start at 10 and work our way all the way up.
All right, sounds good. So it's going to be. Let's also say at the outset that Mike and I agreed that Without Warning would be treated
Yeah.
as a separate track rather than as an add-on to Tooth and Nail, even though they're it's kind of
It-
hard to
yeah.
take that's Without Warning independently
Yes.
of
Agree.
Tooth and Nail, but we agreed we're going to separate them. So there's 10. We're going from 10 to number one. That being said, surprisingly, number 10 for me is Bullets to Spare.
Well, let's just talk about that one right off the gate because it is for me too.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
guess,
like the song. I like the song a lot, but I of all the songs on the record, um, it falls into the most '80s traps
oh yeah.
in
Yep.
terms of the whole I got bullets to spare and my gun, my
Yeah.
aim is steady, my gun is like all the cliche kind of like gun to Love Gun was done in the set. All the rock stars that have compared their Johnsons to guns and their love to guns, it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Bullets to Spare falls into that. So again, I really like the song. Like we said, to
Oh, is
me,
Bullets to Spare your number 10?
it's my number 10.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were going to say that warning was your
Nah,
number 10. Okay.
that's what.
So ignore me. Ignore me. You go right ahead.
Yeah, Bullets to Spare is my number 10.
Okay. I got you. Sorry. Coop that all up. All right. Well, I'm just going to put Without Warning at my number 10. Cool intro. That's about it. I do find it hard to separate from the title track because it's just, they're one as far as I'm concerned. So if we're going to split things up a little bit so we do have the 10 tracks, I'm going to put Without Warning at the bottom. Still cool. Still awesome. Gets you in the mood, sets the vibe. Nothing wrong with that. Got some
Yeah,
good George Lynch noodling around. So good stuff.
that it
But,
does.
but yeah, that's going to sit in the basement for me. All right. Now, number 9 for you. Sorry.
Number 9 for me is Heartless Heart.
Okay.
Again, I really like the song. It's and I for me, there's no skippers on the record. I just think it's something's got to be number 9, and on any given day, that could be up one higher, or
Yeah.
it could flop with Bullets to Spare, or it could flop, with the one that's going to come next. But I don't know, still a good song, just kind of more basic than, not quite as catchy, and a little bit more cliche or a little bit more
Yeah.
average than the other ones on the record.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. My number 9 is actually the album closer, Turn on the Action. Um,
Wow.
I, I,
Okay.
I think it serves well as a closer, but in the big scheme of the entire album, I've always thought this song was just, and again, nitpicking. I always felt this song was just a little on the generic side. And as a younger kid, I was like, oh, it's probably why they put this one on last. It never rung with me. So, it's a cool song, don't get me wrong. And I probably enjoyed it more today than I have in a long time because I listened to the album. But just for whatever reason, that song was always kind of like it just signified the end of the album for me. Good song, but never really, really stuck. So that's
Yeah.
yeah, number 9, Turn on the Action.
All right. Number 8 for me is Without Warning. And the reason I I bumped it up there. Honestly, I man, first of all, I had a hard time separating it from Tooth and Nail. But the more I thought about it and the more I listened to it, like it's just such a, as a composition, as a piece of music, uh, it's Lynch and
Hmm.
he's ripping on it. And I just, for me, that bit, it was because it's always that was always the moment, where either starting the tape or coming
Right.
back to the side one again. And it's so ingrained in me. And I just like, it gets me so like, it's one of those things like like Hellion into
Yeah,
Electric Eye. Like I love
sure.
Hellion too. I probably like Hellion more than as a composition, like more than like if I were going to make a best of, maybe Hellion would make it before Pain and Pleasure
Yeah,
off
yeah,
Screaming for Vengeance. So
sure.
for me, it's like Without Warning. It's not that it's just a short instrumental and an intro, but it's just so ingrained in me, and
Right.
I just grew. It's just, but it's an essential part of the record to me that and to listen to, like, Lynch was such a, obviously was the linchpin uh to the musical sound of the band. So yeah, I'm going with that at number 8, just to be an asshole.
Hey, speaking of that song and Lynch in particular too, I think his tone really came into what we all started to like sink our teeth into and recognize George Lynch as a shredder. Because I don't think on Breaking the Chains his guitar tone was quite as cutting.
Yeah,
When
agreed.
this album came out, it was like, oh shit, you could feel all the frenetic craziness going on. And that was a big thing I remember thinking when I first heard it too. I was like, God, that is just a cutting tone. So, all right, cool pick. Number 8 for me is When Heaven Comes Down. It's a good heavy song. It's got a little bit of a plod to it. And I've always liked Dokken with these kind of I don't know if I want to say that they're all like those gang chant choruses,
Yeah.
but they do use that technique well. I won't say they overdo it or underdo it. They just kind of right in the sweet spot with that kind of stuff. And that plays huge on When Heaven Comes Down. And it goes without saying too, you know, Mick Brown, I don't know if he gets recognized enough for what a phenomenal voice he's got. So
Hmm.
when they harmonize, all together, whew, man, they hit that sweet spot so much. Pilson too. Pilson's a great singer.
Yeah, those three guys are that whole vocal sound, like you said, of Dokken was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, those harmonies are definitely, pushing the legendary envelope. So yeah, When Heaven Comes Down, cool song. A little bit of a slow plod, a little bit of that heaviness going on, but I dig it.
Word. Number 7 for me is Just Got Lucky. Um,
Wow.
Super catchy. Um, Again, I think I lean towards, with the exception of one of my ones above it, like I always love the song, but they all got to end up somewhere. I just think it's one of their singles. It doesn't have the same replayability for me that, say, Breaking the Chains does,
Right,
for
right.
example, or In My Dreams, like of those kind of songs. So I still like the song. The weird thing is too, I don't know if I'm imagining this, but I would swear that the mix of that song on the cassette is different than subsequent mixes I've heard of the song, because it seems like the keys really get drawn out in parts of the Just Got
Hmm.
Lucky, um, on like the vinyl and the CD version, as opposed to the cassette. Like it wasn't. I don't know if they were different. If someone knows, like if I'm nuts or if there are a couple different mixes of the song, it'd be
Really?
interesting to know if I'm the only one that heard that.
Now I had the cassette too, but I don't remember ever being like alerted to the fact that it sounded different when I had it on vinyl. Now they just put out there's a 40th anniversary edition. I don't know if that was a
There's a
different.
few different reissues they put out of it. There was a nice one with a nice double with nice gatefold jacket, and then there was another one that was a single, yeah, just a regular old jacket. I had both of them, and I don't remember even. I think I ended up just keeping my damn OG, and
OG, yeah, that's all
yeah,
I
and
have.
I got rid of the The Friday Music, I think, is the one that put out the one with the gatefold. It was a beautiful gatefold.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. You know, since we're talking about it, what's your thoughts on the overall mix of the album?
It sounds okay. I think from what was, it sounds like what was going on. If you, I don't know if you've read Tom Werman's book or
Mm-mm.
heard some of the interviews that he's done over the last couple years. Like there was some, it was Jeff Workman was the engineer on this
I think
record.
so. I think Michael
And
Wagner is the one that mixed it, though. I think because Werman
well, yeah,
produced for
here's what
sure.
happened. Like Lynch and Werman were like
Yeah.
oil and water. And the story Werman tells, to hear him tell it in his book and interviews, was that Workman was brilliant at what he did, but he
Hmm.
was also like kind of like a douche. Like he would get in other musicians' heads
Yeah.
when Werman wasn't around, and he would say things to chatter to them and do things like splice tape together of Tom and then
Really.
play it for the musicians. So there was, I know there was, so that, yeah, like you said, they had to bring Wagner in to finish off
Yeah.
the mix. I think it sounds good. I think it sounds like it sounds like a second, right? It sounds way better than Breaking the Chains. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that.
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt
It,
about it.
uh, I'm so used to production on it that like Under Lock and Key is probably a better production overall,
Hmm.
but I don't know. I never
You know,
really thought about it.
at the time when you're young, you don't pay much attention to that. At least
Yeah,
I don't
you just let's
remember
rock.
ever. Yeah, you think it's great. What I did think back then, and even more so now, is I love the drum sound on this album, especially the kick drum. It's just so direct and
Yeah,
punchy and distinct. So that has always kind of stuck out to me. The rest of it, I mean, I guess I'm gonna get critical. It's definitely a product of its time, and I think it's slightly on the tinny side, but again,
yeah, I'd
it's
agree.
what you've grown to love about it. So it doesn't distract from the listening experience whatsoever. I mean, it's still a brilliant album. But okay, yeah, I was just kind of curious since we were going to go down that road. So
Yeah,
okay,
I think so much from that time has a similar sound to this. If you listen to like this or Rat or Black
yeah,
and Blue or
sure,
Keel or any of those bands around this time period, you're kind of falling into the same
yeah,
kind of vibe production
yep,
wise.
yep.
So
I agree. I agree with you. Okay, what am I on? Number
number
seven.
7.
My number seven. This may be a little surprising, but it's Alone Again. I The only reason I'm saying that is because I was all about I wanted to bang my head. So I hadn't really embraced the power ballad at that time. And I remember thinking for a lot of bands, I'm like, why did they do this? You grow to appreciate that later on, but I was at the point. Plus, we were on the cusp of just going balls out over thrash and everything too.
Mm-hmm.
It was a perfect storm. They were all coming together. So we were really leaning on the fast speed side. So I was not really into ballads, but now looking back, retrospect, I that's probably one of the greatest of all time, if I'm going to be straight up and honest with you. And I ended up playing that in a band years ago too. But it's just so well crafted. Don Dokken
Mm-hmm.
is he's brilliant. You might not have thought so at the time, but you look back and really critically look at all of these compositions of Dokken and stuff that Don has done, lyrics and everything. It's just like, man, that's probably one of the best, quote unquote power ballads out there. Great,
Oh, for
great
sure.
song. Yeah.
For
So
sure.
that's my seven.
Number 6 for me is Turn on the Action. Years ago, it probably would have been higher for me. It's fallen a little bit. I think it was one of those things like you were just saying, like in the at the time period, you just wanted to rock, and that was back in the day where it was like, where are the fast songs?
Yeah.
Every
Yep.
like metal band like this had like a couple fast songs. It was like there were. I remember there being some records where it's like, where's the fast song? Like, as great as Out of the Cellar is, there's nothing like really like
Yeah.
fast
Yep.
on it,
Yep.
and it doesn't affect my love of that record. That's one of my favorites of all time too. But
Sure.
it was kind of like you're always like, where's the red hot?
Yeah.
The freaking Creatures of the Night or Danger, like those
Yeah.
fast burn, Speed Demon by Keel and
Yep.
Auto
Yep.
Blast by Black and Blue, and
Hell yeah.
the hard rock, fast hard rock songs, the songs that you always imagine bands opening up with.
Right. Right.
Um, the turn on the action's good. It served that purpose kind of. I feel like it's not as fast as I remembered it being, but
Hmm.
it's the requisite like fast song.
Yeah.
Good
It's
way
got
to
the
end the
tempo.
good way to end the record. It was a good thumper, live to
Sure.
play. I get people, putting their fists up in the air. And you know what? This was at a time when this was still metal, man. I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
this is still we would have called this metal. We wouldn't have called this glam or any of
No.
that stuff. This was
No.
metal.
Yep.
So I mean, that's like that song. I felt like fit the bill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, because hair metal, so to speak, really hadn't blossomed yet at that point. So yeah, it was still metal. So yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely for sure. So okay, number six for me, Heartless Heart. Love the chorus. Just I love that melody of Heartless Heart. Just
yeah,
sounds cool. It's just a good middle of the road burner, man. I just it fits right in the middle of my list for no other reason than it's a good middle of the road burner on that
yeah.
album.
You got a hard little heart of stone, baby.
It's a good solo too. I love that Lynch's solo on that one.
Which ones
So,
aren't good?
yeah, I know. Like I said, we're nitpicking. So, all right, what you got for five?
Number five for me is When Heaven Comes Down.
All
I
right,
was like this, just that the grind of this song and also as a, I wasn't thinking about this at that time, but it was probably a premonition of where some of my tastes were going to lie in the future. It's kind of got like almost like a doomy kind of vibe to it.
yeah,
That
yeah,
slow and like
yep.
dark.
It's got that
Um,
plot, man.
yeah, that,
Yeah,
and plus, Jesus, some of those high notes. I mean, Don litters them throughout the record, but some of the high notes of this thing,
yeah. It's like he takes that
Jesus, it's
stutter step just to kick that next one up even higher. Yeah,
yeah, it's
good
like
point.
holy Jesus, like just yeah, it's a killer song. And for someone that like I'm more like into the more upbeat kind of stuff a lot of the time, but that's like one of those
Yeah,
just like pounders that it's just like, yeah,
yep.
that's cool. And again, it's popular with the fan base. It's one of the songs they played often throughout the years.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that ended up in a lot of set lists. You're right. Absolutely. All right, my number five. Don't close your eyes. Dude, come on. That is a catchy ass chorus, man. You can't
Yeah,
help but
dude.
just stop and be like, "Don't close your eyes."
Dun,
Just
dun, 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 dun,
fucking,
dun.
yeah, just rock that out. And that's another one with the signature harmonies and everything that Dokken has going for him from the start. And it's just another really, really catchy one that always is like, oh yeah, I forgot this one's coming up. This is a good one. So don't close your eyes. My number five, catchy,
Great stuff.
catchy.
Number four for me is Alone Again. Just to go back to what you were saying in terms of power ballads, I think there came up there was like a point where we reached where the power ballad drifted into it ceased being the power ballad.
Yeah.
We went from Still Loving You
Hmm.
and When the Smoke Is Going Down
Sure.
and Alone Again and I Still Love You,
Yep.
from Creatures of the Night and
Yep.
songs like that there was real like the power chords and
Hmm.
were kind of like, like heavy, even though they were ballads.
Yeah.
Um, and I think Alone Again was one of the last of its kind like that. And definitely in the elite. I would put it up there with of the time period. It's probably neck and neck for me with Still Loving You by the
Okay.
Scorpions. At some point, then we turned a corner into Every Rose Has Its Thorn and garbage like that. Um, and I like Poison. I mean, I like Warrant, but I could live without Heaven and
Yeah.
all those acousticy kind of like
Yeah.
I don't know. There were some ballads I liked back then. I don't care as much for them now, but like I liked Reason to Live at the
Hmm.
time. I still do, just not near as much. But there was a time when the ballads were it was like a heavy ballad. I mean, it was like,
Right.
it's the going back to almost into the tradition of those old classics like Stairway to Heaven, where it was mellow but heavy
Yeah.
at some point in the song. So and I always loved from the moment I heard Alone Again, I
Yeah.
loved it. and it's still, like I said, it's one of my favorite. I'm not a big ballad guy, but it's definitely one of the best ever. And Don is
Absolutely.
awesome on it. And I think he doesn't get. It's funny, man. Now like it's a whole other subject when we could talk about singers that where their voices are now as to where
Hmm.
they were, or but the whole debate in the Docket fan base. I know so many people that in the Lynch camp, and it's almost like you got to be. And it's almost like people want you to take sides, like one or the other. Where I think that Lynch, that riffing and his guitar playing, plus Don's melodic voice, is what gave them their sound.
Yep.
If not for Don's particular voice and his tone and phrasing, Dokken is not Dokken. People say, "Oh, Pilson was a great singer," but Pilson didn't have the. Don has a. Don might sound like a wuss or whatever people want to
No.
say, but it gave the. It was this is kind of like it's like the silk and the steel. They could write the heaviest stuff and it was still metal, but you could still get it across
Yep.
to people and still get it across to like you didn't have just like a freaking arena full of dudes
Right. Right.
there because there was so much melody out there. It's just that's I think Dokken really had like hit the sweet spot for me with that. I love that Dokken style of hard rock. I never cared as much for the bluesier end of things, like the dirtier. I
Hmm.
mean, obviously, I like a lot of that Aerosmith and
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses and whatever, Faster Pussycat,
Yep.
Cinderella. Like, I like that stuff. But like this melodic metal
Yeah.
kind of thing that Dokken was doing, like
Ate it up.
yeah, it's like putting that honey butter that we were talking about earlier on, it's fresh Italian, hot Italian bread. Eat that
just,
up,
just eat that up, man.
eat that up.
You
So
know,
yeah, I love Alone Again.
you just to kind of speak back to your point about, you know, the so-called power ballad. I mean, even though that phrase probably was not coined at that point at all, but songs like "Alone Again" and a couple of the other ones you mentioned at that time, those were more strategic songs on an album. Whereas once you
Mm-hmm.
got into, 86 and beyond, it was just that commercially expected song to be on
You
there.
had
Whereas
to do it like yeah.
yeah,
After Home Sweet Home, I think you had to do one, even though Home Sweet
yeah,
Home wasn't actually a big hit at the time. But on
right.
MTV, it
Yep,
got played a lot, and there
yep,
just came a point where those songs started hitting. Home Sweet Home, and then
yeah,
Nobody's Fool, and Bon Jovi. When Bon Jovi and Def Leppard started putting ballads out, it was just like you
yep,
had to
yeah.
Journey. Not that Journey's in the same category as these bands, but it became like you said, it became one of those things where
It was
you had
expected.
to put a
Yeah,
ballad on. If you were a hard rock band, you were putting a ballad on the record. It was going to be there somewhere, and it was going to be a single.
yeah,
If the
yeah. That
first
was
single, definitely the ballad was going to be next. If the
yeah.
first single didn't catch, definitely the ballad was coming.
Oh yeah,
And if
yeah.
that didn't catch, you were done.
Yep. That was the label money shot. They were just waiting for all of those to come in and shoot through the
Yes.
stratosphere. Okay, I'm up to number four. So I'm gonna go with Bullets to Spare, just because that's a fucking fun song. Again, I love the lyrics, I love the choruses, and I kind of now I have zero proof of any of this. This is just me, but I drew kind of a weird parallel today as I was listening to all of this. And there's one of my other favorite bands that, made a small little ripple is Holland. They released an album in '85 called Little Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
And the only reason I even started to make this parallel is they've got a song called The Basics of the Bullet. Now, I'm not saying that they sound the same, but composition wise, with the way that the lyrics and the choruses and everything were done on the Holland album, I'm like, man, this I've never made that parallel connection between Holland and Dokken like I did today. Now, Little Monsters came out in '85, and I don't remember exactly what part of '84 Tooth and Nail came out. I think it was like the middle of the year. So we're talking a separation of months. And like I said, I have no proof that, the Holland camp was listening to Dokken or anything, but it's just kind of funny the evolution of how that sort of worked out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and it just reminded me of that. And for a lot of the reasons I love that Holland album have to do with a lot of the reasons I really love Bullets to Spare. So it's just kind of a funny coincidence for all I know. But that hits my number four spot.
I have to, but what you brought that record up, and you've brought that up before, and I really keep meaning to. I'm like, I really got to check that record out, and I'm going to do that this week and
Yeah,
report back to you.
it's fantastic. I mean, if Dokken had their shredder with George Lynch, Holland had theirs with Michelangelo Badio. So it's another little comparison. But yeah, yeah, awesome stuff. I'll hook you up. I will find you a copy.
You the man. All right, number three for me, and maybe a bit of a surprise. Tooth and Nail is number three for me. Ripping opener on the album. I mean, it's a godly Dawkins song. It's a godly song. Period. So much energy. When you talk about fast songs, this is the stuff. Like it has the writing that extra oomph that Turn on the Action doesn't have, and the plus
Yes.
Lynch is a beast
Yep.
on
Yep.
on this. That guitar solo in the middle is um man, and it just like all around just such a killer song. It's one of those things like I'm for sure I would have listened to the song and rewound it and listened to
Yeah.
it again
Yep.
and again, and same within the car, like listen to it again. And um it's a killer song. Over the years, I think God knows how many times I've listened to it from listening to I've
Sure.
gone through two cassettes, two CDs, and then two LPs
Yeah.
uh, of this. So, but man, I
Awesome.
don't know what to say about that song. What can be said? I mean, it's just a brilliant
Well,
song. Everything
I'll
about
try
it.
to say I'll try to say a little more because it's also my number three as well.
All
So,
right,
but like you were saying, when you put on an album, you're like right away, you're like, where's the fast stuff? Well, this one just comes screaming right out of the
screaming
gate
out of the
at you,
gate,
you know? And I always, in my own stupid mind, always sort of likened it to not that Without Warning has anything to do with this, but it was kind of like Accept, with the little folk song at the beginning, and then
Heidi,
yeah, and then they
Heido,
just
Heida.
rip into Fast as a Shark. So that's how I felt about this because Without Warning was just that really cool vibe, and then all of a sudden it's like
Yeah,
and it just comes all guns blazing at you. Well, I mean, but what a way to kick an album off, just
dude.
a great title track, just in your face. It's a fist pounder. Yeah, fucking love Tooth and Nail. Such a good song, awesome song.
I actually, while we're talking about the song, it's funny when I finally got to see them in on the Underlock and Key tour. I was like shocked. Like I thought
Yeah,
for sure, oh, they're going to open with that song,
yeah,
and they open with Unchained the Night. And I'm like, I mean, I love that song, but it's like, how the hell you open with like this mid tempo? I it's one of those songs like in over the years now. I'm like, it's like a priest using out in the
out in the
cold. It's like a
cold.
mood.
Yeah,
It's a mood piece
yeah,
kind of thing. It's heavy in
yeah.
a different way, like to start things off. But man, I thought for sure, like, oh, they're gonna open with Tooth and Nail.
No,
What a great opener that would be.
did you see them on the Priest tour, on the Turbo tour?
I did not. I saw them open for Loverboy
Re-
at the Allentown Fairgrounds.
Wow.
And my buddies and I were all quick funny story about this. I mean, funny to me, but so we found out Dokken was coming in, and we were all Dokken fans, and I was a huge Dokken fan.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we got to go. I mean, we're not Loverboy's Loverboy, but we're going to see this. It's the first time I remember paying to see the opening band.
Hmm.
So my buddies and I we got tickets, um, and then my buddies were over at my house, and we were playing basketball outside on with the hoop, and my buddy Ralph like dunks, and Ralph is like 6 foot something, big dude, like, and he dunks it and hangs from the rim, and pulls the whole fucking
Oh shit.
rim, just cracks my backboard, and I'm like, dude, I was like freaking out. I'm like, I'm never gonna get to see Dawkins now. I'm like, my parents are gonna like
Broke my
round
hoop,
my
man.
ass. And it became like a running joke with our group. He's still, the last time every time I've talked to Ralph over the years, it's still like, I'm never gonna get to see Dawkins now. Like I was so upset. And then we saw Dawkins, and to be honest with you, underwhelming live bands. But
Yeah. Yeah.
it was kind of a bummer it's always a bummer to find out a band you love like that is just okay
You know,
live
I
between the
never I never got to see Dokken until years later. We were supposed to see them because they were touring with Priest on the Turbo tour. And then I think like literally 4 or 5 days before our show, they switched and they took Crocus out with them instead of Dokken,
Hmm.
which was fine because Crocus was fantastic.
What
But
album were they on? Were they on the Blitz or were they on Change of
the
Address?
Blitz. Yeah. So that was right. Yeah, it was Blitz because Midnight Maniac was the big deal at the
Yeah.
time.
Okay. Yeah, that's the
So
Blitz.
yeah. So yeah, I didn't even get to see Doc, and we saw him at the Wisconsin State Fair back in, oh geez, I don't know, 2001, 2002. And the big takeaway from that was I wish I'd seen him earlier because Don's voice wasn't in such bad shape as it is these days. Um, but Mick carried the entire show. I mean,
Hmm.
like this close to might as well have just said, Mick took the lead vocals because it was him all night, and he sounded great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Don was yeah, it was a like you said, very underwhelming performance. So
Yeah. I think the best I ever saw Don was I've seen Dokken 4 times and I saw Don on his solo tour for Up from the Ashes.
mhm.
And that's the best time I've ever seen him. Like he was that band was killer. It had Norm and Billy Wyatt and Peter Baltus and
Was
Mickey
Mickey D
D.
playing? Yeah.
Yeah, and Don sounded great. They opened with Paris and Burning, and
Wow, no
they
kidding.
were just killer. Like Don was. It's probably the last time I saw Don that he was in like great voice. The last time I saw them, period, was the Erase a Slate tour.
Yeah.
Um, and he said he actually sounded better then than I thought he was going to. But it's a sad thing. Like Don is honestly one of my favorite vocalists of all time
Yeah.
on record. But live he was a little bit hit or miss, and certainly now it's sad to see your idols
Yeah.
get to that point.
Well, and
So
it's not a knock on them. It's age,
no, it's age. I mean, it's
doesn't
age,
stop for anybody.
cancer, strokes, like
Yeah.
whatever they have. I mean, it's just again, it's tempting to say they should quit, but who am I to tell someone to give up something they love?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be hard for me to walk away from music when it's time,
Sure. I
and I didn't make
understand
a living at it. So
that. All right, we're in the top two. What's your number two?
number two for me, and this is one that's come up. It's gone up and up and up my list over the years, and that's "Don't Close Your Eyes."
Okay.
Um,
Great song. Great
Man,
song.
first of all, I agree with you. I love the chorus on this song. Um, the thing that like really like has gets me with this song is the structure of it.
Yeah.
I love the verse structure where they start out with somebody's watching me, and they're just like riding the chords
Yeah.
with the bass and stuff on, and the drums underneath, like, but it's a little bit more sparse. But then halfway through that verse, they bring in that,
Yeah. Yeah.
that, and so it like gives a little bit of oomph, and I
Yep.
love that. Um, I just love the way this song is set up, and like it's like the more I listen to it, I'm like, do I? I'm like, I think I like this song a lot more. I always liked it, but I think I really love this song, and I do. I love this
Yeah.
song. I like it
It,
more than any other song on this record, except for number one. It's
which we'll
killer. It
get to
should have
shortly.
been, man. I mean,
That
I don't
should have
know.
been
I
a
think
single.
it
They
should
should
have
have cut
been.
that as a single.
I don't know how often they played it live, but for me, I feel like it should have at least been a live, like one of those tracks, like When Heaven Comes Down, or
Yeah.
that they played live often, and that. But I don't know. People never just. I don't know if maybe that if you don't play something enough live, people aren't going to pick
Right.
up on it. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great song. There's a lot of
It
songs
is.
on here I think could have been singles.
Yeah, I know. If we were only in charge, right?
Yeah.
All right, my number two is Into the Fire. For a lot of the same reasons you just mentioned for Don't Close Your Eyes. I love the structure of the song. I love how it comes in heavy, and then before it goes in that first verse, it comes in with that clean segue, and Don
Hmm.
kind of croons over that, and then it's that snare pop. Dun, 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 dun. It just man, and then the whole Into the Fire. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it's got everything. It's got everything on there, that a true banger wants to hear. It's just heavy. It's got the riffs. It's just, man, it's just a phenomenal, phenomenal song. But not as good as my number one. But
Well,
that
my
much.
number one is as good as your number two.
Oh, all right. Yes.
my
Okay.
number my number one is and has eternally been Into the Fire.
Yeah.
It's the song that launched me, so to speak, into Dokken fanaticism. Uh, and again, like you just said, I love the structure of the song. I have always been a sucker for songs that go from. I like the light and the
Me
light and
too.
the shade. I like the slow. You have the mellow verse into the heavy chorus, and then the build like under the solo rhythm, that
Yes.
great guitar solo, and then the bridge. And take me back where I
Where
come
I
from. Don't want to see your
go.
face no more. Like that whole thing. Like, man, I just and I love the video, as cheesy as it was, them playing on that
It wasn't cheesy back
platform.
then, man. We thought that was awesome.
Ah, it was cool, man. But I love that chord, just like the
Yeah.
power of those chords and stuff in there, man. Just the
Yeah.
freaking banging on the chorus, and great, great song, great song. And
Yeah.
like I said, I think it's part of it being up here, up as high as it is I just love the song, and part of it is
Sure.
sentimental,
Yep. Oh, absolutely. That plays a
but
lot. Yeah.
amazing. I think one of the, obviously if it's number one for here, it's I think there's maybe one other song in the catalog I like more than it, and that's Paris is Burning.
Yeah. Great song. Yeah. I don't think anybody's going to argue with you that it's not like one of their absolute top tier songs.
Fucking bring it.
Bring it. Fight me. Fight me. Okay. My number one, and maybe this is a little bit of a surprise. I don't know. I've always felt this is like a quintessential Dokken song. Like if somebody said, "Hey, I never heard of Dokken. What should I hear?" This is the one. If I'm making a Dokken mixtape, this has got to be on there. I love Just Got Lucky. It's just got that dun, 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 that big drive to that song. And even this one, not quite to the extreme of like Into the Fire, but it does have like those light, like you said, lighter shade parts, and then it kicks back in.
Yeah.
And I love the solo on this, but you just got like boom. I believe it's so everything you want from a Dawkins song is in that one. And it's always stuck with me. I hear that on the radio if that comes on Ozzy's Boneyard. Turn it up, man. Let's
Turn it up.
go.
Is that Just Got Lucky, man? Yeah, man. Well, turn
Turn
it
it up.
up, man.
So yeah. So all right, well, for better for worse, there you have it. Our our ranking of Tooth and Nail by Dokken.
How
Great
long
album.
does it take? About 45 minutes.
Oh, for about 45 minutes.
I'm going to need 350.
Yeah,
I'm going to need 45 minutes.
45
I
minutes.
don't even know how many minutes it was, but
I don't know. I can't tell yet. Well, I
let
don't want
us
to like
know, though,
something.
like how you rank. I'm really interested to see how people rank them, because I
Oh,
think
yes, please.
Dokken is one of those bands. I don't, they've, for a band that had like the kind of the success they had, they were never like a big singles band, like where they have
Right.
these big, huge, like, so I think like favorites are scattered
They are.
throughout
Yeah.
the catalog for people. So I'm real
Yep.
interested to know whether you grew up with this record when we grew up with it, which was the 80s, or whether you were later,
Yeah.
came into it late, whenever you came into it. I would love to know. We would love to know
Yeah. Absolutely. Put
how
put
you
those
rank them.
put them in the comments. Give us your top 10, or how you rank them, 1 to 10. We want to see those in there.
2026, time to get involved, yo.
Yes, speak up. We need you.
Join the army. Join the Forsaken Heaviness army.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us again. Please like, subscribe, get that notification button going so you are always privy to everything going on here. Um, if you've got it, go listen to it.
Yeah, cool. Look at Mick Brown on the back there too. Like, those
He's
dudes
just
look so
chilling.
cool back there.
He's just
Jeff Pilson
chilling.
not as much as the other three, but
No, but Mick Brown looks like a
George and
badass.
Mick especially, like that's metal, man. Look at those dudes. I'm gonna get that shirt someday, and I'm gonna look fat in it.
I'm gonna get the vest too.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We will see you very soon on the next episode of For the
For the
Sake
sake of
of Heaviness.
heaviness.
You just got
Yeah.
lucky.